Hello there. I'm going to be talking about the owners of each current Premier League club, and I'm also going to be talking about their former owners and how they have done with their current owners. Of course, it's going to be alphabetically, lads. Let's go. Arsenal, look, I'll tell you about Arsenal, yeah? So listen, Arsenal have spent, don't get me wrong, but they've done the bare minimum, yeah? The Cronkies, they are not gonna spend a lot of money, yeah, to help Arsenal get to the best, become the best that they can be. You feel me? Yes, they've got a forward line that looks like a Ferrari, but then when you digress down the midfield from the defense, you see a flipping Fiat, mate. Aston Villa, right, about Aston Villa, yeah. So in order to touch on Aston Villa, we're going to have to sort of go back to when they had Suarez, to when they had Shia. No. We got to remember the American owner, whose name I have forgotten. And I don't even think I want to remember his name, because he was that terrible. He made Aston Villa terrible. They were that team, yeah, that you would wipe the floor with, that you would literally use as the mop, mate. Okay, they literally got relegated with good players. They were just horrendous. I think the fact that the ownership, yeah, was so bad that it clouded onto the players. And then afterwards, when they got relegated, they got taken over by Tony Shea. He got bankrupt, yeah. And then afterwards, it looked like Aston Villa were going to have to go bankrupt as well. They might have even went to League One. They might have even had to sell their golden boy, Jack Grealish, mate. He might have went to Birmingham, their rivals. He might have had cabbages thrown at him, just like Steve Bruce did, their former manager. Burnley, right. The thing is with Burnley, I don't even want to talk about the owner. I want to talk more about Sean Dyche, their manager, who has a fuzzy beard, and he seems like a huggable person, despite the fact that it sounds like he's got a machine on his throat. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, don't worry, mate. Don't worry, Sean. We love you, truly. It's just, I mean, with all due respect to you, of course. But either way, we love you, though, Sean. We love you. But anyway, yeah, about the football. Sure, they play anti-football. Football that you would have seen in the caveman times. In the Stone Age. That's right, the Stone Age. Yeah. Football that you might have seen in the Stone Age. Forget playing with a football. They might as well play with a big border, mate. But yeah, they're like that. They're practically what Stoke were many years ago. But anyway, despite that, they have turned into a decent mid-table outfit. Do you know what I mean? Unlike their rivals, Bolton Wanderers, who, yeah, they have gotten promoted, but mustn't we forget that they have been going on a downsized trajectory? Do you know what I mean, mate? But anyway, it's hard to judge their owners right now because they've only been there for a few months. And I don't mean to be racist, yeah, but considering how American owners can be like, I guess they're gonna struggle and they'll probably get relegated, considering how stingy American owners are. I mean, at the time of writing, their owners haven't even made any signings. So what does that tell you, mate? Brighton. Now, Brighton didn't even have a stadium 10 years ago, yeah? Imagine that. Imagine not even have a stadium. A football team without a stadium. My gosh. But anyway, yeah, their fortunes changed when Tony Bloom, a former poker winner, a man who made his money from poker, took over. Under his ownership, they have gotten promoted to the Championship from League One, and then they got promoted to the Premier League. They now have very talented players who have made their England debut. They have a good team of decent, talented players. They have a good team of talented players. Not only that, they have good prospects in their team. And under their current manager, Graham Potter, they are playing lovely football. Under their current manager, Graham Potter, they are playing lovely, fluid football. That is lovely. Give yourself a pat on the back, Tony. Now, unlike gambling, this was a risk that was worth taking. On to Chelsea now. Now, the club that is owned by that wealthy Russian oligarch, Mr. Abramovich. It's like, to be fair, Chelsea are like that big brother who lives in London along with his other brothers. But unlike his other brothers, he's more successful. He is the prosperous one. He's the one that's more rich and the one that attracts beautiful women. Alright? Now, before Roman Abramovich, yes, Chelsea fans, there was life under Roman Abramovich. You glory fans. Alright? You guys had Ken Bates, alright, who sold your club for £1, mate. £1. Do you know how much things, yeah, I could get for £1? Do you know the amount of things, yeah, you can buy for £1, mate? Alright? You can buy a packet of crisps for £1. Alright? Haribos cost less than £1. Alright? There's many things you can't buy with £1. Alright? You can't buy a car with £1. Alright? You can't buy Ferrero Rochers with £1. Man, just imagine how much that club is worth now. Anyway, yeah. Just imagine, yeah. Ken Bates, after he sold Chelsea, he took over Leeds, alright? Leeds then got liquidated and then relegated, and it took them 16 years to get back into the Premier League. Yes, Chelsea fans, that could have been you, alright? But now that you guys have Abramovich, since then you have overtaken Arsenal with the amount of Premier League titles you have won. You have won the Champions League, won many FA Cups, many League Cups. You've been able to see many world-class players in your team, many influential players such as Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, who was part of England's golden generation and also became your top scorer, lads. Yes, that's right. And not only that, you guys are also in a Champions League final again, and you're also in an FA Cup final again. Gosh, I wish we could do better. Yeah, honestly, it hurts how we are the most historical club. Yes, my team Arsenal, and yet we're just doing badly, man. Right, I'm going to rank Fulham now, okay? Now, Fulham, they have a billionaire owner, yeah? Now, listen, but the problem with them, yeah, is that they use the loan market too much, and that can affect the culture, you know what I'm saying? This season alone, they have signed 9 players on loan, alright? Don't get me wrong, they spent good money, but I don't think they have, like, they have good organisation. Like, for example, yeah, they have signed players based on statistics. Alright, it's like trying to go for a girlfriend, yeah, and only going for the one you don't like because you feel like the other ones, the one that you will like, will reject you compared to the one that you don't like, who's most likely to be a fat girl, yeah, who will accept almost anybody. Do you know what I'm saying? Their main rivals are Chelsea, Brentford and QPR. Now they're probably looking at QPR and Brentford. Now Brentford's a little bit debatable, but with QPR they're probably thinking, okay, it could be worse. But with Chelsea, they get smashed so many times against them. Not only that, yeah, Brentford is a bit debatable because yes, they're a well-run club, but at least Fulham can say they've been in the Premier League for the last 5 years, which is Brentford's goals. Alright, they are London's oldest professional club, yeah. Alright, so they're sort of like the old ones. They're sort of like the granddaddies of London, you know what I'm saying? And in total, they have spent 27 seasons in the top tier, yeah. Which, when you compare to Chelsea, is actually a farce because they are London's oldest club. It's a fall of grace from them when you compare how they were playing against Atletico Madrid not that long ago in the Europa League. Yeah, right, lads. And now we are going to talk about Everton. Not Scouse. I need to do a Scouse accent. Liverpool. Now we're going to talk about Liverpool. And about Liverpool, well, they are a limited company. And they are currently owned by Fahad Mashiri. Now, compared to their rivals, alright, they could be, they're nowhere near them. They're nowhere near Liverpool. But the gap is starting to close and close. Listen, lads, I just want to say it's not about the money, alright? It's all about how you organise the club as well. How you develop the club. What structure is being put in place, alright? So for example, yeah, their technical director is Marcel Brands, who's done a lot of good work in Holland. He's won many titles with the likes of, well, if I'm correct, with the likes of PSV, with the likes of Ajax, I think. When you compare that to my team, Arsenal, our technical director is a guy who's been a runner-up in the Brazilian league, for crying out loud. We want winners, alright? We want winners, alright? Not runners-up. They're not the one who falls short of getting the cookie, the last cookie, alright? We want the guys who fucking win, mate. Sorry for me language there. Lord forgive me. But anyway, as I was saying, it's not all about money, but money helps as well. Is what you do with that money, alright? So for example, yeah, is what you do, alright? So it's the decisions you take also, let's not forget that, lads, alright? Let's not forget that. So for example, Atletico and Barcelona, yeah, were interested in Richarlison. What did they say? No, sirree. It's like when a mate goes to you and says, mate, can you break up with your girlfriend so I can have her? Are you mad, mate? Nope. But not only that, also what Everton are doing is that they're planning a stadium for the future. They're adding quality players here and there. They're adding Allen from Napoli, Decore, one of the best players from outside the top 6 in the Premier League, mate. They also added James Rodriguez, a former Monaco, Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich player. What a CV they've got right there. Carlo Ancelotti as well, top quality manager. Been with the likes of Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Napoli, Chelsea, PSG. He's won many titles. I think he's also won the Champions League once or twice. Not too sure about that. But anyway, they are going to have quality players. Those are quality players. They are preparing to have a quality team in a quality stadium in the season 24-25. Now Leeds are a different kettle of fish. Okay, so in May 2017, Adriano Raggizzani, an Italian businessman, took over Leeds, alright? Now, before Raggizzani's takeover, Leeds were a mess. They were a mess. During the Cellino era, the Bates era. But before all that happened, Leeds were in the Premier League and they were also a championship club. At that time, they were owned by Chelsea's former owner, Ken Bates, who sold Chelsea for £1. He then went into Leeds, yeah, and it was none of someone like a curious cat with no business of being there, and he ruined Leeds. Leeds were sent into administration. Leeds were then in administration. They went tumbling down the leagues. 16 years later, they were promoted thanks to Andrea Raggizzani, Marcelo Bielsa, who we will get onto later on, and their players. Now, bringing in Bielsa was a huge statement of intent, who came in 2018. He got them promoted with lovely football, and he got players with good work ethic. He got those players working hard. Okay, now they may not be like their rivals, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, who are close rivals of them, but at least they're above the likes of Bradford and Doncaster, who they end up losing a League One playoff to not that long ago. And they could even make Europe in a few years' time. Doncaster, and they lost to Doncaster, a team that smells like an armpit. Imagine. Now on to Leicester, alright? Now Leicester were taken over in 2010 when they were in the Championship, alright? Before that, they were in League One and they had a downward spiral. They got relegated from the Championship. Luckily, they managed to get back up. But to be fair, the fairy tale only started in 2010 when they were in the Championship. I mean, even getting promoted to the Premier League was ambitious, alright? Imagine telling a Leicester fan that they would one day be winning the Premier League 2 seasons after they got promoted, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, people tend to say, now, a lot of the teams that win the Premier League are teams that tend to have money. But Leicester, they're the team, yeah, they're the team that won this without the need of a sugar daddy. Alright? Now, the company that owns them is rich. Alright? The King Power, they are rich. But when you compare them to Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, they are nowhere near as rich as them. And it's such an inspiring story. That it's just a great underdog story in football. Something that, it's just a story that just gives you hope again. And not only that, they played in the Champions League, beating Sevilla to get into the quarter-final. And unfortunately, in the Champions League, they lost to Atletico Madrid. But they played very well. Fair play to them. They held their own. Not only that, this season, they won the FA Cup. Now, this is how a club should be run like. Alright? The owners of Man U and Arsenal need to look at Leicester. The owners of Liverpool, Tottenham need to look at how Leicester are being run, okay? Then when they sell a big player with the likes of Mahrez, the likes of Harry Maguire, they tend to replace them, okay? So when Ben Chilwell was sold, they got Wesley Fofana. When Harry Maguire was sold, they bought Yuri Tielemans and Salvatore-Perez. Yuri Tielemans scored in the FA Cup to help them win the final. When Riyad Mahrez was sold, they brought in James Maddison, a player who has been a vital part for them in the recent seasons. They've also in their Premier League team, they didn't spend much to assemble that great team. Jamie Vardy was bought for only $1 million from Fleetwood Town. Riyad Mahrez was bought for peanuts at Le Havre, and N'Golo Kante wasn't bought for much from Cannes in France. But honestly, RIP to their former owner, the father of their current owner. Honestly, wow, it's really special what they've done in the community, giving out food. Not only that, they helped build a hospital. The big clubs should really take a look at this club and take a leaf out of their book, because these guys really do care about the fans. Unlike other owners who only care about what's inside their pocket. Now Liverpool were taken over in 15th of October 2010 by Fenway Sports Group, and under this ownership they have won the title after 30 years of this. Not only that, this ownership has also appointed Jurgen Klopp, the manager who helped them bring titles and trophies such as the Premier League, the Championship, the Club World Cup, has helped them become finalists, have also brought through good players as well. Not only that, they have sold their best players and reinvested into the team. For example, when they sold Coutinho to Barcelona for more than 130 million, they brought Virgil van Dijk and Alisson from Southampton and Roma respectively. Two big players who were key into helping Liverpool both win the Champions League and the Premier League. Not only that, after the ESL fiasco, their owners also apologized. Now you could be sitting there thinking, oh, that's a PR stunt, but at least they apologized, unlike other owners.